we're back. Game number 2 of this best of 3. Not going to do a whole lot of introductions. Let's talk about the draft as they did pick it up. I'll tell you what, man. These guys love the draft fast. Not a single second of bonus time used by NYX, who are for whatever reason tagged under Brudas. But Doom rounds out the final draft for EG. Skyrath, Jakiro, Veno, Darkseer, and Doom. This is going to be yet another very mid-game oriented draft for EG, while they have to deal with the IO Tiny on the other side, as well as Tidehunter and Puck. And, you know, this is going to be very much about shutting down the Tiny for EG. If they're able to do that, though, the rest of the heroes, as good as they can be, are really reliant on having somebody do some sort of sustained damage, and they're not going to have it without Tiny. So would imagine that'll be the #1 goal as EG looks ahead now to Game 2.
Another fast pick on the Elder Titan. We'll see if they can change things around, at least this game. And the Tiny Wisp, I haven't seen them do this since they actually had Ush on their roster. I know that TC can still play Tiny, though. And as far as EG's lineup goes, the Doom, the Darkseer probably off lane, Venomancer as a core. Might be mid, actually, and might just see the Doom farming top. A little bit better for EG, I think, especially up against the dual lane.
EG, as you had mentioned, and want to see how they end up doing it. I really like the way EG tends to do their Veno. Again, just trying to farm him in general, just for no general purpose. Not the best, but whenever you have a lineup like this, a composition that is very timing window based, a Veno that's well leveled and well moneyed can usually be a huge asset, be it purchasing an early mech, be it purchasing an early pipe, whatever you happen to need.
This is going to be kind of a roaming / jungle Doom, actually, with Zai soloing mid. I believe so. Zai's got total mid items with this Null Talisman and the Tangos, so that's all he bought. And he's actually setting up shop in mid, so he's going to be mid against presumably the Wisp Tiny, which is not too bad in the sense that he can totally trade auto attacks and then some with fluff and stuff on the Wisp, because 1, he has no armor whatsoever, 2, he has no stats because he's going fast bottle. And that's about it, but if they do get some good levels onto this Tiny Wisp, they can easily kill Skyrath if he's out of position, so he's got to be careful for that. But in the early stages of the game, in the early levels, I think he will be fine this lane. Actually, PPDs is going to help him out block and probably sit here and maybe do a 2v2 situation here in mid, so dual lane versus that, and then Arteezy farming up in the jungle, and then a 1v1 situation up top against NYX Mike for the Venomancer, and obviously the Venomancer will have a better time.
Let's see, how much regen does Mike have? He's got 8 tangos in a salve. I think he'll be fine up here for a while. More importantly, he'll get his levels, and he won't have that much of a problem getting some early gold at the very least. Like you said, Fear should, in theory, be able to zone him out, especially once he gets level 2, level 3. But I actually really like this adjustment from EG, because now you have 2 ranged heroes against a melee hero in TC. On the Tiny, and Fluff is going to be spending a lot of his time back in the jungle stacking and moving, trying to make sure he controls the runes and so on. So in theory, they should be able to really burn through his regen quickly and try to force him back out of lane. Early bottle up on Fluff though, so he'll be there to regen him, but still at least complicating things is, you know, trying to slow down his item progression early on.
Yep, the only problem too though is that while Puck is going to have a good time down here against Darkseer, and by good time I mean he's not going to really get killed, because you can't really zone out a ranged hero like this that can port to an orb, but I'm curious to see how effective the Elder Titan can be in killing Universe. There is a chance though if you catch him with a nice stop while he's trying to surge, because the surge duration's only 3 seconds, so if you catch him, it's probably 1 second's already gone by, and then the 2 seconds with the sleep will actually stop the rest of the movement speed bonus from Universe. He's going to try to contest this bottom rune, and he actually is going to surge around, and here comes PPD to help out. Whitebeard's going to have to use the stop. Whitebeard can take a little bit of damage though. PPD is level 2, has a dual breath, and he looks like he might fall.
Yep, Surge is up, Ion Shell's up. Yeah, they're just going to chase him down. And Universe actually taking a fair amount of damage. Brax doing a good job of blocking him. And PPD there. Universe does manage to salve up in time. Now Brax is in trouble. Brax has no mana. That's going to be 1. Does PPD get off another Liquid Fire? He's right in range. I don't know is it going to be enough to burn him down? It's going to be close. The Tango is the only thing that's saving him. He's definitely dead if he didn't Tango. So PPD rotating to bottom, finding himself a first blood and damn near 2.
Yeah, that was a freebie again by Whitebeard. He just tried to get the stomp off, but he was literally 1 auto attack away from death, and he was just like, oh, yeah, I'll take you, and then let's look for the next one. And so Yeah, not too good here in the safe lane. That was what I was worried about for Brutus, with just even 1v2 against the Darkseer I was worried about, but now with the rotation of the Jakiro, it's even easier. And mid, how's Zai doing? He's got 10 CS compared to the 10 of Tiny, so he's doing just fine. Arteezy roaming around, getting a couple creeps, probably staying here for level 3. They're actually going to roam on TC. Not going to get him, though.
Stomp catches Arteezy behind the tower. TC's heading over. 2 points into Avalanche, not able to get there quickly enough. Do want to point out, by the way, that Brax, that was his last, well, I should say his last bit of rejinx. He is back to full, so I'm going to guess he probably had a salve too. But that tango that he used was his last tango for sure. And so barely surviving what could have been a very disastrous encounter there. Let's talk about top lane. Tide is actually winning here, and this is what I figured. Mike's not going to have a big problem. He has burned through a fair amount of regen, 4 tangos and a salve already in mid. Zai dodges the stomp from Whitebeard, going to take some damage on his way back out. But I feel like EG does need to make a priority of stopping Mike sometime soon. He's already level 5.5-ish, and we'll have level 6 soon. He's about half a level ahead of Fear as we speak. There's his arc boots done, and one would imagine it's going to be a very early blink dagger unless they really give him some attention.
Yeah, the rotation from Wisp helped Mike get a kill actually on Neveno, and actually Wisp is coming back. There is no lane ward here, and yeah, they're going to dive him with the Gush, and the ball's coming out. Fear is taking a lot of damage, gets a Gale off, which is just not going to be enough. TP rotation way too late from PPD. So nice rotations here from Fluff. I think he's doing the right decision by leaving Tiny in mid and trying to find space elsewhere. And Mike, as a result, is going to get level 6. He actually can kill PPD with a one creep kill. They probably don't even need the Ravage, actually. But they're probably going to use the Secure. Here actually comes a TP from Fear. Maybe they go in yet again. I think they can, actually. Once he gets the 6, yeah.
They're wearing it out
a little bit.
Yeah, there's the Gale. Ravage will catch them. They did spread out some. PPD very low, has no mana now. And actually surprised PPD would put himself in that position. Fear eats all the spirit damage, and there's going to be a kill from Io. So Fluff tallies his second kill in just about as many minutes. In the meantime, Brax barely able to escape. Arteezy has a haste, though. He's got him. So using that Ion Shell, and he ends up dying. And Puck doesn't get the XP, but still, losing him there, kind of a big deal. One more spirit and one more auto attack will do it. Fear just barely outrunning it right now. It is right in front. Here comes a TPN. They got to decide if they want to pursue. That's going to be PPD back in. And now Mike happy to go ahead and pull back. So things going Snaw's way here early on. TC will be silenced and caught with a concussive shot. Arteezy's behind him, not yet level 6. TC turns as the silence wears off and gets off the avalanche. So fair amount of damage, but no direct follow-up from EG. And yeah, we are looking at an Evil Genius's lead that is very, very tenuous. Only about 400 gold in their advantage, while the XP is actually favoring Snaw right now.
Action on to Zai as he gets a concussive shot. Actually, he tosses Fluff to maybe try to get some slow from the tether. Thought he was very, very close in range of the avalanche stun there, but just didn't feel confident enough in it, as the slow from concussive shot plus the just high base movement speed from Skywrath at 375 was just enough to actually get him away. So bottom lane, Brax, he's very close to 6. That's going to be a huge ding for him. He does hit it. Nope, he actually gets denied, so he's going to need one more creep. Arteezy trying to make something happen of this, but I don't think they actually get this kill unless he has Doom up and ready to go.
Nope, he's level 4. Not really understanding the purpose of the Doom pick right now. I don't see them getting a lot out of it. He's going to need to get some more attention and some more time to himself.
Was Coil
They're going to try. Yeah. They're actually trying to go here. Brax is just going to kill him. He and Fluff should have no problem securing this kill. I guess Scorched Earth does make it a little more complicated. There's a concussive shot. Brax caught from behind is silenced. Universe still hanging around the back as well. Arteezy low health, but burning some damage on. There's the surge, but he doesn't want to dive into the tier 1, and certainly doesn't want to dive with the spirits, offering sufficient damage. Whitebeard making his way over is level 4. And Fluff and Brax now tucked under their own tower. PPD is going to spot Whitebeard as soon as he drops the ward. And he's going to be taking the long road back behind his own tier 1. This is going to isolate 2 heroes at top and leave 1 in mid unaccounted for. Ice Path does manage to catch the edge of Whitebeard. Should end up dead here, but Arteezy's so low. And of all the people to be leading with that, yeah, that's a free kill for Fluff. And to be honest, EG at this point is just making bad decisions. These are borderline feeds. Like Arteezy, without Scorched Earth, had no business going in with his health that low. And
I don't know why.
Go ahead.
They're actually pursuing PPD. They probably get this kill.
Yep.
And the toss comes in from Tiny. I think he could have actually came in a little bit earlier, maybe get 2, but nonetheless does get that 1 kill. That would have been an even cleaner exchange, actually, if Brax didn't miss the coil. But unfortunately couldn't get that off. And Universe does get the tower bottom, which I think is very important when I talk about being aggressive in the off lane. And he's going to have very early fighting power. And if he did decide to go mech, which it might go for Fear, it would make a lot more sense this game.
Well, TC's in great shape compared to the rest of the map. He's number 2 in CS, only second only to the Darkseer, but him being comparatively more far into the map is such a big deal. He's gone treads, bottle, and we might see him go straight up for his scepter now. Could slide something like drums in there if he really wants to just ease into it. But Brax is more than halfway to his blink dagger now, so he's in good shape. The Tide coming up on that mark as well. He's about 900 towards the blink. And something we didn't mention is until he does get blinked, the Toss Ravage is actually very effective in the right situations. So it's not as if he has no mobility at all so long as TC is next to him.
Yeah, and you can use the Toss ability, as you mentioned, for so many different heroes. It's awesome and fun to see. I was just theory crafting like Toss plus Black Hole is so fun to see. But yeah, Toss Ravage could be very effective. Here comes the smoke actually from TC and Fluff and stuff. They break the tether right away. They probably want to get level 6 on Fluff instead. And Brax goes down yet again bottom.
Whitebeard comes in, catches 2 with the stomp. And we'll be able to retreat. They're rotating Fluff and TC down. And Zai just decides to try to get out, knows he's dead. And even canceled his TP. Universe in the meantime able to surge himself to safety, but they end up getting the puck, which is nice. They gave up their Skywrath, which is not, because they did end up giving it up to TC. 8-4, EG being doubled up in terms of kill count. Overall metrics tell us they're still owners of a marginal gold lead, and the experience has been basically static for NYX, even though they have been in the lead in that department. It hasn't really been going up. And for Arteezy, he's got his glove of haste, but now just the long road to Midas. And he's going to need it soon. Like, I feel like he's really, really under-leveled right now and is not particular. I mean, he's the second lowest level in the game. He's level 6, while most of the other map is level 8. I just heard a coil, and yeah, he whiffed it again, didn't he?
Well, let's see. I was looking at mid.
It was down here.
Another coil? I mean, this is a pretty... Sorry, but that's a pretty easy spell to hit, but maybe just not feeling. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But as you're close to his blink, at least, he's about 600 gold away, but he doesn't have upgraded boots either, so he is very, very squishy if he does get caught outside of an orb. And Universe, yeah, I'm waiting to see what kind of item build he would like, but same thing with Fear, as they're both saving up a lot of gold. Which these are heroes I feel like you want to spend gold very quickly, but maybe they just haven't quite decided what they want to buy.
I'd really like to see a mech out of Fear. He's got 1,800 gold towards it now. They're just going to have to fight at some point, and being able to heal everyone up after the inevitable Ravage sure would be nice. Mike and Fluff going headhunting under cover of smoke. Unable to find anyone that they don't already see on the map. PPD in mid makes the most likely target. And TC may just spam this wave. There's a nice path, gets the toss off on the PPD. Here comes Mike. Mike has Ravage if he needs it. And PPD gets off a macro pyre, but that's it before he ends up dead. Down at bottom, we see a dive onto Brax. He does get doomed, and they're going to get this kill as well. Mike will Ravage. Brax will nonetheless die, but he wants a return kill on Arteezy, and we'll be able to get it with an anchor smash. So another favorable exchange for Sneaky NYX Assassins, as they also are going to be able to take the mid-tier 1 as well. They get 10-5. Zai whiffs on the Mystic Flare, but TC's still taking a fair amount of damage, however, overcharge. Helping keep him alive. There's a toss from Fluff, and Fluff's actually doing a lot of damage with those spirits. And yeah, he's just going to kill Zai. Fluff ends up dead, but that's totally worth it. Completely worth it to sacrifice him for a kill that Tiny gets full credit for. And yeah, this is actually looking really bad for EG. That gold graph seems very dramatic. It's a small amount, relatively. But in terms of the way the game's just been very close all game, it does seem quite a lot. But I just don't know what they're going to do with the Doom. And TC is, yeah, he's rushing his Scepter. He's halfway there, man.
Yeah, that's really good for him. I don't know if that dive was totally worth it, just because Fluff had a really nice streak that went the way of Zai. And Fear, I was wondering what he was going to buy, and I was wondering why he's hoarding his gold. It's because he went for a blink here. I don't know if I really agree with this. I think that just getting an Ags is going to be much more effective, especially against a Tiny and the relocate combo, but maybe he just feels under too much pressure. He is 0-3-0. Okay, I didn't even notice that, but he has died a lot. But this is just very interesting to me. Either mech or just even the mana boot, just because you do cut through a lot of your mana. Like, spending all this mana on your Plague Wards right now doesn't even have enough for one Gale. And even if he did, he actually wouldn't be able to cast any Plague Wards after that. Relocate in mid, actually.
Yep,
on to Zai, who gets a solo kill on the Wiper before he dies.
And there's going to be the Doom on the Fluff, Arteezy. Giving pursuit. TC's on the low ground, Fluff on the high. Fluff has to... Fluff, oh, barely missed with the Ice Path, and because of that, able to make it away. In the meantime, Mike in mid, just basically playing the big tanky watermelon that he is. Chasing out PPD now. Look at that, 200 damage from his Anchor Smash, and PPD hurting a lot. It's going to make it 12-7, and did watch in mid the solo kill that Zai was able to tally. Still feel like EG really needs to get into gear, though, because we have yet to see the Tiny. Yeah, Tiny's 3/4 of the way done, more so, to his Scepter. And I don't even know what they do. Like, if you're EG, what's the plan? Do you have to be feeling a sense of urgency?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just keep farming up and defending when they try to push. I don't know. Like, yeah, I agree with you. I think they're... Last time I saw EG draft a lineup like this, where they had... Well, honestly, they drafted something similar last game where they had really no... No, that's not true. Storm can completely take over a game way more than a Doom can or a Veno can, so that's not true. The last time I saw EG draft something like this, they lost because they just didn't have the tools in the late game at all. And they didn't snowball hard enough, so I don't know. I'm very scared for them. I think that this Blink is a bit of a mistake on Fear. He's actually going to go for a Midas too, I think. So I do like that, though. I think that they need to be able to contest in the late game. I'll tell you what's weird, though, is Whitebeard, who's 1-3-2, sitting behind mid, who still doesn't have boots yet. 15 minutes. Soul Ring, upgraded wand, no boots. I don't even know, man.
It is... Yeah. It is tough going. Whitebeard has not been having the greatest couple of games. And speaking of... Yeah, he is 1-3, 0-3 on the Venomancer, though. So they have been able to really get a lot done with pressuring Fear and getting kills there. But I agree with you. I think Mech Blink is fine. Like, on a core Venomancer, Mech Blink Pipe is my favorite build to see, just because it's so well-rounded.
Oh, no. Mike smoked mid to try to get this solo Ravage kill on Veno, and then he just walked right by him, but then he walked to the right, and Veno walked up and just blinked away, and they kind of missed each other. Unfortunate. The Spirit came out from Whitebeard too, so they probably suspect he's around there somewhere, but they just don't know exactly where. It is nighttime too, so it might be hard to see. If it was daytime, he might actually show just a glimpse of himself, but he's fine for now. TC, as you mentioned, I think, let me check the courier. He has a Blade of Alacrity. Yeah, he's actually got his Axe and 1,000 gold. No, never mind. He just bought his Blade, so. Has his Axe completed now, so pretty damn good for him. And the Wisp who netted all those kills, since he's 5-1-3, when he got doomed in mid there, I was wondering why he wasn't dying. It's because he's got this Vite booster. So he's actually very tanky. Yeah,
I like the pickup from Fluff. And, you know, this is up Zai actually being targeted by IX Mike. Whitebeard's right there with him. And that's really good illusion micro. They will really locate in and secure the kill very easily. There's an Earth Splitter just to cut any kind of a response. I feel like EG's playing terrible this game. Like, they're just being caught out. Their decision-making is not nearly as tight. And their lanes and their draft were really just wonky.
Yeah, and I feel like they haven't really got much out of the Jakiro pick either.
No.
He, like, the only time that, like, he looked really good in the beginning, but that's just because they caught out, I think it was Whitebeard in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he just came bottom, he's like, oh yeah, you're one hit. Let me just auto-attack you for free first blood. And then, but I haven't really seen him push too many towers. That tower push bottom was basically all universe. Fear, he's trying to be a little bit crafty here by sitting in the trees, staying in the trees as it were. And the Midas is actually up onto universe. So he is gearing towards the late game against the Tiny Wisp. The old EG way. He's had a 4-staff before that too, so I like that. I don't know if I like the Midas though on Darkseer. I like it in Veno, but I don't know about the Darkseer.
I don't know that I like Midas at all this game for EG. Because what NYX can do is comfortably say, okay, we can just farm and drag this out as late as we want. And all things being equal, we're going to win. And they have complete control of the map right now. Their gold lead and experience lead are relatively small, even though it is 17 minutes. But now Zai up front once again. Look at the damage output he takes just from toss and anchor smash. And they're going to get him again. Got off Mystic Flare, hits Mike for a little bit. Mike does have his Ravage. There's a Gale from behind. Mike has to decide, use it or lose it. Hey, he's going to go ahead and expend it. That catches two. Universe down in the front. Arteezy next as he's tossed, and yeah, this one has already come apart for EG. Like, I honestly don't think they have the damage to kill anyone unless it's like 3-on-1. I don't think they can win a 5-on-5 at all.
Yeah, that was just a weird, like, wonky setup. Here comes a relocate onto bottom for the Jakiro. PPD, he wastes his TP, unfortunately. That's an easy kill. Got actually really good damage onto the tower, though, so I think that's actually a trade that's fine for them. This tower's going to get denied. They lose that. Relocate for Jakiro kill and a tower. I think that's a good trade for EG, but as you mentioned, they're definitely way behind. And the question is, do they have an answer for this? Tiny with an Aghanims and a Wisp behind his back. And it's not just a Wisp, it's a Wisp that's really farmed.
Yeah.
Like, very tanky. So you can't just, like, easily, oh yeah, let's just kill the Wisp. It's not that easy because he's got a Fight Booster. This leads me to believe, what, an Atos? No, he could go for a Bloodstone as well, but I think Atos would actually be pretty nice as well.
I mean, how often do you end up 6-slotting your IO? I mean, he can go whatever he wants and just have the casual Fight Booster for the game if he wants.
Sure.
But yeah, like the decision of Universe to go Midas here, I don't like that at all. I mean, this is a lineup that has every advantage over you in the late game to begin with. And I don't know, like mech, pipe, something, anything to give yourself a little bit more combat potential. Even if you end up going something like a Crimson Guard, like you know, against the right click of Tiny, at least that helps. And now it helps in the immediate future. And go ahead.
I know the reason behind these Midases, though. Like, it's just because they don't feel they can fight them at all. So why would they try to fight them? So instead, they're going to just split push and dodge fights. And so since we're not fighting them anyway, why not try to maximize my farm? And so that's the whole logic behind it. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. Like, I like the Midas actually on Veno because I feel like he will benefit a little bit more from it in the late stages of the game, whereas I think Darkseer, then again, I don't know. I've seen Darkseers take over a game, especially for Universe. Like, he's one of the best Darkseers in the world, so I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see if it is going to be a correct decision in the end. Now, just because if they lose this game, it's not to say, oh, they bought Midas, so they lost. Like, this is like we need to try to do something. We need the best chance to win in the late game, and I think that this probably is it, actually.
EG under siege. Two blinks up, and there's going to be one. Managed to only get one with it, but they did get the Skywrath. Relocate out, and where did they go? Didn't even see. Just back. Fluff and TC help clean the tower. Like, EG can't fight them, and it's not going to be long. Like, let's see who's building what here. If Force Staff recipe for Mike, so going the typical build we tend to see the most. If one of these heroes gets up a pipe, they're going to be able to high ground so easily. There's going to be a vacuum. Brax may be in some trouble. Phase shifts the ice path and can't do anything else. Uses his wand charges. Gets the old karate chop in the back of the head by Universe. So do end up getting at least one high value kill and one general kill, as Whitebeard has given up a number of those. Not just this game, but the game before as well. He's 1-4-2. Still, that is Brax's 4th death as well. And now Fear engaged upon. Gets off the Gale. He's going to try to run damage output from NYX a little too high. And this is going to be a full Assault Cuirass done on TC here, like now. Like, that is huge. Like, he is monstrously big.
Yep, and it's going to be a Bloodstone coming out for Fluff, which I think is really nice because if you actually do need a suicide, you can totally heal up your team. It's really nice to just give you lots of mana and be very tanky. And when you have a bigger mana pool like that too, you can heal up people for a longer period of time. I think it's actually, when I first saw it, I thought it was like, what the hell is this? But when I look at it again, I think there's a couple items that you really need on him. And although I would like to see the Vlads, just because it's so good with Tiny. I actually would have preferred to see Vlads before. But since he was so farmed, he's figured, hey, I'm really tanky if they try to target me, which they should do anyway. Like, you should always target the Wisp first, but this makes it a little bit harder to do. So in that sense, I do like it.
Well, TC finishes the Assault Cuirass. And they are continuing to just collapse the map, as we can see. And, you know, the lead is still not insurmountable for EG, but I just, again, like, I don't know how they fight. Like, you rack your brain. The Yules will be up at some point for Peter, and that's fine. But, I mean, the blink on Fear, he's going, like, he's just got his level 2 ulti. I don't know. Like, I think EG's just going to wait for mistakes, I think. And to be honest, it's rare you say this. I just don't like their draft. Like, usually EG pretty much on point. And even on things that look odd, they kind of show you the revelation. But I don't think this is a good draft. I don't think it was drafted well based on what they saw. The IO and the Tiny came out in the middle of the draft, not the end, so it wasn't like some big surprise. And they're just getting run over at this point. And NYX is just going to be able to keep piling on a lead.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things with it. Like, one, I don't think they've got really much out of this Jakiro pick. No. Like, when they pick Jakiro in the past, it's on either a core for Universe or actually even Fear will play it sometimes, or even Zai. And Zai prioritizes a lot more farm on the hero, and I think this is a hero that benefits a lot from farm. We've seen that with EG. They own with Jakiro when they get an early Yules, but look at the Yules timing out for PPD, and this is just because he plays the strict 5 role. It's going to be like a 27-minute, maybe, wait, no, probably a lot longer than that, 30-minute plus Yules for Jakiro, which is just, if you've seen the stats on it, it's not promising. It's not encouraging. So I think that's the part of the reason too. Is they prioritized the Jakiro pick for good reason, but they didn't get anything out of it this game. Also, I've never seen EG win with Arteezy on Doom. And that's not to say he plays it wrong. I just think that when they run him running around as a actually mid, Brax goes in. Coil is sitting, making Zai sit there. Zai doing a ton of damage actually.
Ravage from Mike though to follow it. Here's the relocate. Actually didn't bring anyone with him. So they do not manage to get Zai. That's misplayed by Snaw, I think. Why didn't Fluff was next to TC, I thought. I don't know. But anyway.
Zai forced him down the hill, I think. And then he put himself in an awkward position. TC tossed something at him and tried to kill him and was really close to, but just wasn't enough.
So EG finally gets a kill unanswered. Still a long road to go, and just to come back to your point, I agree. Like, it's not just that that Arteezy was on the Doom. It's the way they ran him. This roaming kind of, let's just run at towers and dive kind of Doom. Like, he was trying to dive tier 1 bottom without Doom at like level 4 at like, what was it, 8-9 minutes in. It didn't make a ton of sense. Like, it just wasn't a strategy that was going to give you a huge chance for success. Universe is fairly well farmed. He has a BKB up. And in terms of net worth, yeah, he's second on the board. TC, though, going to run right into PPD. He's got IO behind him. And Peter never had a chance to react. Universe now trying to make a run for it. Staffs himself to the low ground. And, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. There's going to be another coil on the Zai. Like, Snaw is just playing this well. Like, they're getting kills so ridiculously easy. It's not going to be long before they can start the just 5-man.
Yeah, but if you look at the net worth, it's not actually they're that much further ahead. I mean, I agree. I think that their late game is much stronger. Actually, here comes the Yules on to Arteezy, who doesn't have a blink or anything like that. If he gets caught in an avalanche as well, yeah, he's dead. He's more than dead. Just bought a Mithril Hammer before he died, so that's probably going to be towards a BKB. Oh, no, sorry, that's on the Tiny. Never mind. So,
yep, yeah. That's his BKB.
That's Tiny's BKB. Never mind.
Yeah. And, I've been going back and checking them. The net worth chart, again, the problem is it's not, it's like, yes, I have seen teams come back from 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 gold behind. But this team from EG should be winning, not break even, not losing, and not losing considerably at this stage of the game. Like, this is when their lineup has to be excelling because they have nothing that transitions decently to late this game. So they're just going to run out of time. I mean, and I actually do like the way that NYX is playing this. I think they could have fallen back and played the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes as okay, we are winning where you have the advantage. So let's play to not lose. Let's just fall back farm, and unless we absolutely have to, not prioritize movement or kills, let's just keep everyone safe because we know EG cannot go toe-to-toe with us late. Instead, they've been playing to win, and it's been really impressive to see. This is one of the better games I've seen out of Snaw ever.
Yep. And Aegis goes out to TC. He's going to have a completed BKB in just a second, which is very, very good for him. And the good thing is that even if they doom the TC in fights, he's not going to take any damage because because of the overcharge in the Wisp. And the problem is if they doom the Wisp, then Tiny has free reign, and I don't even think dooming the Wisp is going to kill him because he's so tanky with a completed Bloodstone at this moment. Who do you doom then? I think you have to doom either the Puck or you have to doom the Titan before it Ravages. Those are your only two targets in my opinion. And we'll have to see. But those aren't even the integral parts of the lineup. It's this tiny Wisp that's overfarmed.
Snaw could very easily. Now, let's not forget, we watched a game the other day where Snaw were sole possessors of a 20,000 gold lead for 40 consecutive minutes before the game was they were finally able to close the game out. So, in terms of Snaw being able to take a lead and finish a game off, they have shown some weakness there. And EG, one of the best at spreading the map and at making that as risky a proposition as possible. So, who knows how long this game can end up taking when all is said and done. And Arteezy looks like he wants to shorten it as he runs right into the Tiny and the IO. And he will be able to use Scorched Earth. Universe is there to help him with the Force Staff, so very kind of him there. And Earth Splitter shot, but should be wide. As Arteezy up. Just going to TP home. Doesn't like the way this looks and feels. Barely able to dodge the Avalanche, though.
Yep, and boots of travel now for the Darkseer to just help his split push and help his rat. He's basically playing this kind of like a rat, like just trying to push out lanes and show up to fights. And right now, EG's game plan pretty much is just like high ground.
Yep.
Like farm up, and then don't try to take any really big fights at all. Small pickoffs if the opportunity presents itself, but other than that, only fight uphill, or a fight, from the uphill position. Servers are going kaput as I'm pinging, and yeah, the packet loss is growing.
Dude, this is like the perfect Tiny. So like, no. Like if you zoom in on Tiny, this is like if I can just get that out of frame a little bit. It's a little too close. It looks like he's wanting to give himself a selfie. Like if you replace the tree with a camera.
Wait, how do I do this?
Like go to showcase mode.
Oh yeah.
Like you just gotta zoom. Like if I could just trim the tree out a little bit, get his eye in it. Like he totally looks like a hipster with a comb over giving himself a selfie.
I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, MySpace angles. MySpace angles. All right. We do have a pause, and while Trouf and I prove once and for all we are the fools you think we are, hope you're enjoying the cast and hope you'll keep up with the D2L across the variety of networks you can use to get your updates, be it Twitter, be it Facebook. It's D2LGG on both of those. And, of course, here on Twitch, just hit the follow button. And because we don't want you to miss a minute of the action, we're winding down in our Western Division. Not a whole lot left in the West. But we do have our playoffs to look forward to. And, of course, we do have a few more matches after Trouf and I are going to take a much-needed 4 or 5-day break. And then, of course, in the first week of January, it's CES 2015. Trouf and I will be there in the flesh, as will 4 teams, 2 from the East, 2 from the West, at our grand finals at Caesars Palace. 2 teams from the East have already been in both categories, and does look like Snaw is ready to put the siege on and ready to try to close this out, Trouf.
Yep, they definitely can, but they have to be careful. Like, it's not a free win by any means. They have good high ground defense with the Veno. And like I said, if you get the Doom off onto the Tide, and you can kind of, worm your way back into your base afterwards and try to drag out the fight that way, you can maybe take a fight at your high ground. TC, though, pumping out that damage, trucking that tier 3 tower with Wisp behind him. And would still really love to see a Vlad's, but he's still doing quite well without it.
TC with the Aegis, not afraid to take some damage up front, just taking chunks out of this Rax. There's going to be a good ulti from Fear, and Mike did get caught by the ice path. He got doomed. Now Arteezy comes in, they do get the Aegis, and they're going to chase Mike back out. There's going to be a vacuum on the Brax as well. And Whitebeard's one of the few that's surviving. Arteezy still chasing down Fluff and stuff. Behind that, we see the BKB was used by TC. And now that big bad rock wants to find Arteezy. His right click considerable. Whitebeard's there with him. Force Staff gets him to safety. Tosses Whitebeard, though. And Ice Path from PPD actually did cut him off. Now Whitebeard likely to end up feeding as he's going to be caught from behind. TC in the meantime did find a kill onto Peter. Now the Mystic Flare from Zai. He's going to be tossed and brought down. That's 3. And a double kill for TC. Buyback from Zai. We're actually going to see a relocate that they had used before proc that time, so maybe a little bit of a mistake. There's going to be an avalanche on the universe. I got off the silence. Don't know that it matters. TC does still have 15 stick charges as well. And yeah, this is going to be racks down. And we are probably not very far from GG. They did get his Aegis, and but they did end up having to buy back. And it's really only going to get worse from here as he gets bigger and bigger and bigger. 1,700 gold he's got tucked away after that. 24-12. And yeah, I think Snaw is in a great position given EG really has drafted a completely mid-game centric lineup that has completely fallen on its face.
Just picked up a DD too, so if they wanted to time, they should just go actually, because they didn't get to even use the Ravage last time. Like, that's the only way EG wins a fight is making sure that the Ravage doesn't come online. And if they still lose a fight with that, I mean, they did have the Aegis, so it was much easier, but the point still stands. If you don't have Ravage, their team fight becomes a lot less strong, but they still were able to win and get the rack. So now with the Ravage up, it's going to be 10 times easier. And like I said, DD up on a TC. They're actually going to try to kill out Mike again. And he's sitting down here. I don't know why he's by himself and not with his team. If they maybe can get a kill on him, they could possibly have a chance to defend high ground. They're pinging him out, and actually even the Wisp is, or the Puck is like, yo, Mike, get with your team or push out bottom or something. I don't know what he's trying to communicate, but Mike could be dead here.
Yeah, he's pushing out bottom all right. And he's about to get doomed. Yep. And now, I guess, running interference, they're going to have the rotation in. TC and Fluff and stuff, land the relocate. They kill Fear. Maybe this was the plan. Just come in and get a free kill with Mike as bait. Problem is, Mike's now down for 70 seconds. And they were ready to put the push on mid, so don't know if it was a miscommunication or if that was the plan. It just didn't go as perfectly as they would like. Fluff's going to end up dead now, though. TC's being kited. He does BKB. Two force staffs on side as he flashes back and forth in front of the big beast. And we see Brax trying to chase him down. Will get the kill onto the high ground. Heard a macro pyre go down somewhere for some reason. But Universe has eyes on Brax. Brax now has eyes on Universe. And will jaunt in front of him. Doesn't have coil, already used it. Does have a Yules, though. Here comes Arteezy. Has, yeah, the ability to zone him out. TC's quite low in health. There's an ice path, though. And Arteezy tossed. TC leading with the chin. There's the Shivas to slow him down. Some Universe is right there. Hits the surge on Arteezy. And doesn't look like he'll be able to track him down. Brax is still right there. Ice path on the money. Follow-up will be a Gale. And heard another BKB. As that was... who BKB'd there? I thought I heard it. Maybe I'm just going around. Crazy.
It was Universes, I think, actually. Yeah, he just cast it.
Wonder why?
I don't know why. Maybe it was a fat finger.
I could think so. I think he meant to force staff or something.
Sure, yeah. Blank upped on the Doom, which is nice. I don't know why they don't just 5-man with Tide double Ravage. I don't know why was Mike farming down there. I think he could just go 5 and like Peter said, just go 5, press Ravage and win the game.
Yep.
I think they're trying to overthink this one just a little bit too much.
Well, they do have one set of racks down top, and they should just 5-man down bottom, and I think they'd be fine. Roche is going to be back up sometime in the near future, and we'll keep an eye on that to know exactly how long. Scepter finished on Universe. And, you know, if EG just had any kind of real late game potential, they might be able to hold high ground and maybe try to make a comeback. But as it stands, even if they defend high ground for the next 20 minutes, what's that 20 minutes, that extra 20 minutes going to accomplish? And I feel like the servers are getting wonky again. Are you seeing this?
No, let me ping myself in. Yeah, they are actually.
Yep.
They don't even care.
Yep, there's the Ravage. Yep, Sai mentions it. Universe will end up dead. Arteezy using the BKB. And I don't think either of these teams really care that much, as everyone is just kind of over the server issues at this point. It's been going on for 2 weeks, and they're just going to fight through it. 3 are down. I'm trying to cast a slideshow, but really not a whole lot to cast other than Snaw is winning. And they should be able to just finish this off here. As TC's going to go high ground. He's actually going to walk into a lot of damage. And if TC ends up dead here, he does get a triple kill. I didn't even see what happened. Like, my slideshow does not reflect reality at this point.
Oh, well, TC just
is
kept
yours
walking.
Any better, or is it across the board here?
I can actually see stuff, believe it or not.
I can now.
But TC just kept walking back and forth in between a macro pyre and a mystic player and almost died.
Yep.
Couldn't really control his hero, I'm assuming, but I think he should just call this, man. This is over.
Yeah. So Peter puts us all out of our misery as another game marred by server issues. Hopefully, the next one won't be the case. But a bit of a wonky draft from EG. And not the best execution in the early mid-game. Leads to a tied series. And Snog looking to upset by far the favorites of the West right now. In a game and a series